Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians, they are claiming the Russians are advancing almost on the entire front line. Now, that comes from the Ukrainians. It doesn't come from the Russians, the Americans, or the French. Now, could it be a trick? Yes, it could be a trick. But I have here an article from Ukrinform or MENA FN, and I will also look over a little picture over there. And it's interesting how the picture is the picture that's posted with the article. It's a garbage picture, but nevertheless, if you think it's a smart picture, yes, it's smart for the baboons, but I don't think we fall in that category. I mean, or should I speak about myself only? Here is the article, MENA FN. Here is the picture, right? And this is General Syrski with an interviewer. Now look at the picture. She is on the only chair and he sits on some wooden pallets. Do you think that these guys could not pick a different kind of environment here? Why do you think these guys picked this? Because that's where they dwell? Nevertheless, well, you can believe that. I don't. This is made for people with soft hearts, or how should I put it, weak people. So let's see the article. Ukraine's army chief, enemy advancing along almost entire front line. This is the same reason why these guys, Zelensky and his weasels, are wearing something else and not normal clothes. They're in khakis, they're in, like they're at war, and he doesn't shave. Yeah, and somehow his voice becomes, his balls dropped, and he's a man now and walks like he's tough. I suggest you go and watch at your own risk some of Zelensky's real life walk, real life talk, real life behavior before he became president. You tell me that he became presidential all of a sudden? It's for weasels, the same as that picture. It's fake. Well, that's up to them. And if you like that, that's fine. I allow you. All right, let's look into this article. So, Ukrinform. Ukrainian forces have moved from offensive to defensive operations at the front. All right, ZDF, German TV channel. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ukraine, Colonel General Alexander Syrski, Russian, said this in an interview with the German TV channel ZDF. Ukrinform reports, and I'm quoting, "At this time, the situation can be assessed as difficult. The enemy is now advancing along almost the entire front line, and we have moved from offensive operations to conducting a defensive operation. The objective of our defensive operation is to exhaust the enemy's forces, inflict maximum losses on him, using our fortifications, our advantages in terms of technology, in terms of using unmanned aircraft, means of electronic warfare, and maintaining prepared defense lines," Syrski said. And I will show you a map from the Russians. Here is the map of Ukraine with the line of contact between the two armies. So we have here, they say almost on the entire front line, the Russians are advancing. Right there, all of that. Well, it doesn't mean that necessarily the war is over, obviously. No, the war is dynamic. Today can be like this, tomorrow can be different. Now that is, put that together with this article from Ukrainska Pravda. Ukraine switches to defense operation to exhaust Russians, Commander-in-Chief Syrski. So they switched. Definitely there's no more counteroffensive until the money come from the United States of America, and not only. So again, Alexander Syrski has assessed the situation in the combat zone as complicated. And remember, the other one said it is difficult. Okay, the enemy is now advancing almost, so we have here, let's see the same thing, and reported that Ukraine switched from offensive actions to a defense operation in order to exhaust the Russians. We switched from offensive actions to defensive operation. The goal of this operation is to exhaust the enemy, to inflict significant losses by using our fortifications, our technical advantages, as well as Details. Syrski stated that the fighting is especially intense on the Kupiansk, from where the Russians set the goal to occupy the city of Kupiansk by any means, assaulting Ukrainian position daily. Kupiansk is located here in far east of Ukraine or in the north of the contact line. So here it is, Kupiansk. Kupiansk is right here, Kupiansk. So the Russians are advancing here and definitely going towards Kupiansk. Now, if Kupiansk is gone, if they are going to advance here in Liman, then they have here in Avdiivka, which is almost done, and then you have Marinka almost already gone. You have the Shakhtarsk area, and then you get Zaporozhye here. Nothing occurs here. Then you have the Kherson, which again, nothing occurs here, meaning advancing. No, nobody advances here. Nobody here. Mostly is on Donetsk and Luhansk, and here in Kharkiv, Kharkov. So let's go back to the first article. All right, front line near Avdiivka, moving in both directions, Ukraine's defense forces. So Avdiivka is right here, the encircled almost one. This is one of the, it's more than this. These guys are just, even though this is from today, supposedly the 13th of February, I have a different map, better than this one. I'm going to show it to you. So this is a better view of Avdiivka versus this one right here. So this is where they said it's dynamic and it's both ways. The Russians are going to close in here and they're going to complete their encirclement. That's the goal, at least. So it says on February 8, 2024, Ukrainian president, blah, 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 appointed. We already know that one. Get on this article with this information from defense to offense. We switched. Syrskyi started the fighting especially intense in Kupiansk. The enemy basically started this offensive operation on October 3rd, 2023, and has been conducting a high-intensity offensive for 4 months. Their losses, especially in manpower killed, according to latest reports, are 78 times higher than 78. I was 78. I was, Jesus Christ, the lie is too big. I can't gulp that. 7-8 times higher than ours. He noted that the role of drones in the war is growing every day due to the increased frequency of their usage on both sides. The use of ground robotized platforms is also significant in Ukraine's forces. They are controlled remotely, which allows preserving the personnel. Yeah, we're all good, and the other guys are just barbarians. I got them. I mean, same garbage propaganda in any kind of war. We are the good ones. There. I mean, how is it possible? Both are the good ones in the eyes of their societies or people. So the point is defensive, and the Russians are in a advancing on almost all enemy advancing along almost entire front line. We'll see if things change when they will receive the $60 billion from the Americans and some $18 billion, if I remember correctly, from the Germans or something, from the European Union about $54 billion, from the French a few, $3 billion, from the British about $3 billion. We'll see how things go. In the meantime, you and I are getting poorer. Why? Because we have to defeat Putin. Okay. Never been asked. Nevertheless, we're going to have the chance to vote, right? It's like anything changes. Unless they just want to blame it on the next one. Let's say Trump wins, and let's somehow he succeeds in stopping the war. Everybody's going to go, oh my God, he made peace with Putin. But they wanted to do this now, but they don't know how to exit it. You know, sometimes they want to get out, but they don't want to get out like losers. They want to find someone who's the bad guy. And they're going to be the next president if supposedly he is in power and he can stop this war. And when he's going to do it, if he's going to do it, everybody's going to say, oh my God, he's the guy, he's the bad dude. Oh, or if things are going well, it's the military, the bureaucracy who took care of us. It's, however, it is like kindergarten. There's no different than a kindergarten level argument between two guys who want the same toy. The same thing, and then the teacher stops the little quarrel, and they're both lies, and they got the same garbage. That tells you not that these guys are infantile over there necessary. They are manufacturing their message, their packaging the message, that put together the message for the baboons. That means they, and for good reason, they really much look down on us. But hey, there's some geniuses around here. Okay, and we're not going to let that happen. Well, keep that piece of information up and provide a different view on the events. Don't be a baboon. Okay, we're not baboons here. They are working with the baboons, we are working with us, and maybe the baboons one day will just switch sides when they realize that the food is better on this side. We have better bananas than the other guys have. Then they will immediately switch to our narrative. Why? Banana. That's all. Nyum, nyum, nyum. Hungry. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.